And she's like, you're not tired of spending time with us? You don't have a girlfriend or something? And I'm like, wow, like, how rude are you? Trust. And she's like, I don't know, I think she's 10 or she's turning 10.
Now you've broken up. Something crazy has happened. You're like, oh my God, let me call. What? Blocked.
This podcast is proudly sponsored by Visionary Marketing.
Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of the Just to Kick It Is a Blessing podcast with your host Keith Tupac Gatiramu. Thank you for coming in and tuning in with us for another episode where, we just celebrate life. No matter what you're going through, no matter where you are, remember, just to kick it is a blessing. Amen. And today we have a very special guest in studio with me. We've had him before on the podcast and you guys said that he must come back. So he is back on the podcast. Without further ado, I will let him introduce himself.
Hello everyone. It's me again. Nice to see you guys. It's Noah Monday in the building. Glad to be back. Been thinking about this the whole time. I'm glad to come and actually have it was from the reviews that you guys gave us last time, it was really dope. We were able to be honest, we were able to speak, just to kick it, like you're saying. It's a blessing. And we got to learn new things. I got to talk a lot about the stuff that I was going through, which really helped. And I'm just glad to be back and, really to have another, just kick it. Yeah.
Yes. So since then, what have you been up to?
Since then, it's still on my grind. I sold my alcohol shop last time because I was distributing alcohol last time. Now I'm more into farming. I'm now I work with a friend of mine where we sell coffee, and I still do a few I still dibble and dabble in the electronics business. Yeah. Once in a while, but in this Nairobi, you gotta do everything, bro.
You gotta hustle.
You gotta hustle, man.
Yeah.
It's tough, but we're still trying to get through it.
Yeah. That's interesting, and we wish you all the best in your endeavors.
Thank you.
For the people out there listening, this week we've decided that going forward we will do something interesting on the Just to Kick It Is a Blessing show, and this is where we ask the guest a random question. So basically, I have this app on my phone that sends me thought-provoking questions every day, and so today my question was, what do you fear the most? So I'll ask that to you, Noah. What do you fear the most?
Damn, that's a tough one. What can I say I fear the most? I'd say failure, to be honest.
Yeah.
There's nothing I fear more than to let myself down. Mm-hmm. Not even my parents, not even my friends, but just to have that guilty feeling that I've not been able to accomplish something that I thought that I would possibly do. Yeah. Is one of my biggest fears. Because other than, from what I learned from last time, obviously I was going through some stuff, but it's just to think, it's just the thought of setting goals for myself and not achieving them, or coming close to achieving them and not doing them, is what kind of scares me the most.
Yeah. When you talk about failure, when you talk about it, is that in comparison with you not being able to reach your full potential? I'm guessing that's what.
Definitely. Even the small things, because in life, I honestly do believe it's the small things that matter in life. The small things are the ones that build up to the bigger things. Yeah. And you see, when I set myself certain goals, I'm trying to achieve them one goal at a time to reach the bigger goal.
Yes.
So if I end up failing 2 or 3 goals that I had set, it now makes the bigger goal, and even it makes it a faint image. It starts to disappear. Yeah. And now that's the biggest fear. So it's small failures, which is allowed. We are humans. We're allowed to make mistakes, but you have to limit those mistakes to a certain amount of times you make these mistakes. Because they say a fool learns from his own mistakes, while a wise man learns from another. Yeah. And we're so blessed to be in such a great place and a great we have such great opportunities to learn from people who are great, who have achieved so much, and sit down and talk to these people and learn, okay, these are the mistakes you made. How do I stop myself from making others? So before you sit down and think that, it's the failure to do the main goal to achieve, let's say, you're going to be a billionaire. If it takes steps to get there. And those steps are the ones that I kind of fear. Are my biggest fear, sorry.
Yeah, failing those ones.
Yes.
Okay, that...
Because at the end of the day,
yes,
God's got my back. And I know he will help me get there.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I still have to put in my work.
Your own part.
Yes, I have to play my part.
Okay. We spoke last time and we had probably one of the best conversations I've had on this podcast till date.
First podcast, last podcast.
Yeah, but I actually really enjoyed it until today.
Yeah.
I still do enjoy it because I feel like it was raw, it was real, it was authentic, it also had its humor.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. But I remember you spoke about you being depressed, yes?
Yeah.
How are you doing now?
I think I'm okay. I'm much better than I was last year, yeah?
I don't know if it was last year or the year before that.
2 years, yeah.
Yeah?
Almost 2 years ago. I'm in a much better place now.
I think it was 2 years ago because we had just come back from WRC.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
True. Yeah,
yes.
and I had the thing on my hand.
Yes.
Story for another day. But anyways, I'm in a much better place. You know, one thing I can tell you for sure is that coming from that state of mind and like where I am now, it's been a journey. It's been ups and downs, hard times. I literally fell back into that hole that I was in, crawled myself back out of it. And during all this time, I just learned that this whole thing is just a journey. Yeah. It's a journey where there's ups and downs. There's no straight road. There's no flat road. There's a few marams, a few potholes that you're always going to encounter. But like Rocky Balboa said, it's not about how hard you get hit, but it's how fast you get back up. Yeah. And that is something that I didn't really necessarily take time to understand until like you're in there. Yeah. Until you've been hit, until you've been shown, like you've gone through all these obstacles in life that, you know, you just have to pick yourself back up, bro. There's really nothing more else you can do other than just accept it, pray. One thing that I've really come to accept and appreciate a lot is prayer, because like I remember I told you last time that I confide a lot in strangers. Yeah, you did. And I still kind of do that. But however, one thing that I've come to confide in a lot and come to accept it is God. And praying and speaking to him, and not speaking to him like in the sense of like, oh, Heavenly Father. No, speaking to him like he's a real guy, like he's someone that you can talk to, someone that you can relate with. Yeah. And thanks to that, it's really helped me a lot, like open my eyes, see things, and accept that, you know, that he's there for me and he's there to like guide me through whatever it is that I needed to. And also good company, good friends, and just trying to keep the right company around you. So yeah, I'm definitely not in that state anymore. I have fallen there before, but I'm in a much better place now, and we thank God for that.
You've mentioned that you're in a now much better place, yes? Yeah. So I wanted to find out, is there things that you did that got you there? Because I know there's someone out there that's listening to this podcast and saying, look, I'm in this kind of place, you know, how do I get out? What are the tips? What is that advice for me to get out of such a stage? You said prayer is one. Prayer is definitely you said one. Good company. Good company. But is there anything else that you thought about? I would
say, another thing that I forgot to mention is the fact that you need to come to realization that what state you're in, you need to accept the fact that I'm in this state, and you also need to accept the fact that you want to be better. You know, you'll always think that you want to be better, but if you don't put it in your mind first, if you don't settle it with yourself, if you don't like come to accept like, look, I have to do these hard things. I have to either go gym, go for a run, do something that makes you uncomfortable and something that will keep you busy, but uncomfortable in a good sense, like working on yourself, like reading a book, for example, or let's say starting swimming or starting a new hobby. Even go play the violin or something. Like, just figure out something that you want to do that you have never done before that will distract you from it, but not necessarily take you away from the fact that, you know, yes, I am depressed or I am going through whatever it is that I'm going through. But in the sense that you need to reward yourself to come over, like to get over that. You have to do something that, like, let's say 2-3 months you've started playing the piano and you're like, wow, I never thought I could do this because, I mean, you have time on your hands. You have to now figure out a distraction, like a way to keep your mind busy that will also reward yourselves. Like, I think they called these chemicals in your brain, endorphins or something.
Yeah. It's around dopamine, endorphins.
Yeah, endorphins and all those things. Like, try and get as many things as you, like, try and get that fluid running through your mind by doing things that, you know, you've never done before. Go hiking, pray again, like I said. Like, just distract yourself. And when you start to learn to distract yourself, you start to learn new things about yourself. You start to, like, see that, oh, like, I can actually do so much more than I thought
I could do.
because you're challenging yourself, because you're putting yourself out there, rather than just hiding in a hole, which is fine, you know, for a little bit. But eventually you're going to have to crawl out of that hole and get out of it. So that's what I can tell the person out there that's listening to this and, like, saying, oh, yeah, I'm going through that, because we've been there. Trust me. We have.
Do you journal or meditate?
Yes, I literally did. Not meditation. Meditation, I mean, okay, so I believe that my mind is all over the place sometimes.
Yeah.
And to sit down and this, like, actually, oh, wow. I'd lose it for sure. Like, I would definitely, my phone would ring or something and I'd get distracted. So I figured that I tried to start journaling.
Yeah.
And, you know, it took me a while. I started doing it during Ramadan.
Mm-hmm.
So during Ramadan, before I open my fast, I'd always I'd write down my prayers.
Mm-hmm.
That I would like after before I open my fast, I write down my prayers. I write what I'm thankful for. I write what I want to happen in the future, and I also talk about, like, how my day has been. So, like, what I went through, what disturbed me, what I liked, everything. You just set it down, and then when you start seeing them in paper, it, like, basically puts everything into perspective. So you start to see, like, wow, so I felt like this at this time, but now I'm feeling like this. Like, what the
yeah,
like so pointless. Like, this small thing was disturbing me this whole day, and all of a sudden the day is gone. I've written it down. In fact, if, like, there's one time I wrote something down, I wrote everything that I didn't like, and I took that paper and I burnt it.
Yeah.
And literally felt like all my problems had disappeared with the ash. Which is weird, but, you know, it's a part of journaling. But journaling really has helped a lot, being in the sense of, like, putting things into perspective, which is a big eye opener for anyone. You might journal a different way. You might try it. At the end of the day, it's all up to you, like, how you decide to write your things.
What works for you?
Yeah, you know, whatever you feel is best for you, because at the end of the day, like, when you go through that feeling again, because it won't end just there. It won't end after you've journaled, that's it, it's gone. No. It will definitely come back. But the fact that you have your journal to go back to and refer to it and, like, process it and, like, think about, okay, yeah, so this is what I was going through. I've seen it on my journal. It reminds you about that feeling that you felt like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, definitely journaling. Meditation, one day, hopefully, inshallah.
Yeah.
I'll get there, but it's a journey, you know. I'm in no rush.
Yeah. No, meditation is actually a bit tough because even me, like, one of my friends has been trying to introduce me to meditation and I've been struggling. But then, like, what she told me was to use something called guided meditation.
Yes.
So on YouTube, there's guided meditation for how you're trying to feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it starts as low as 7 minutes, then you can do a 10-minute one, and then now you can do a 15-minute one. So before I was struggling to do 7 minutes, yeah? Because honestly, I sit, my head has already gone. I don't know where and where and where and where and where. But then I think the more you do it, it becomes more of a habit.
Okay.
So now I'm able to do sometimes to 15.
Wow.
But sometimes I'm like, oh, screw that. Maybe let me do like 12, you know. But, like, I think it's crazy because if you can do now the journaling and meditation together, I think it's a different ball game because it's you saying that, look here. Journaling is you saying, look here, yes, my day was crap, or yes, my day was good. Yes, I like this. Yes, I did this. And meditation is now like, I read that it's like God talking to you.
Okay.
You know, within the silence. Yeah. Prayer is you talking to God. Meditation is God talking to you. And I was like, wow, that's actually...
So the first time you did it took you... How many minutes did you do the first time?
Bro, I think even 1 minute hadn't lasted. My head was all over the place, bro. I'm like, yo, now what the hell is this about? Then I'm like, yo, why does this lady's voice sound like this? Then I'm like, yo,
I
man.
would lie, like those ones for YouTube. I did try once. I sat down, I even put myself in that position.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, let's go. Bam, my phone, TikTok, like this. I'm just like, what the hell?
No.
But I feel like if you really put your mind to it,
Dude,
you can
you can achieve anything.
to be
You,
honest.
and just that being in your thoughts and calming down. I think it's a wonderful feeling.
FOMO, bro.
Yeah, but the one that I found powerful was journaling, especially writing what you're grateful for.
Yes. Oh,
yeah?
yes, very true.
Yes, every evening when I write what I'm grateful for, no matter how bad my days has been, it always seems to lighten up.
Yeah.
You know, and some days I even find I've written something as simple as like, I'm grateful for my dog, even though that nigga pisses all over the house. You know, at least when no one's in the house, he's here to give my parents some sort of company, you know.
He's keeping them happy.
Yeah, so I actually suggest that everyone out there should try and meditate and journal, and also thought-provoking questions. And that's why you've seen these days on my Instagram, I try to share every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday a thought-provoking question, just to get people to ask questions about themselves. But back to what we were talking to, and I remember you went through this whole situation where your best friend had done you dirty. Yes?
Yeah.
Did you ever get the chance to forgive him?
Yeah, I did. You know, in fact, I mean, it's been how many years now since that happened? It's been
2 years since we spoke.
Since we spoke, it's been 2 years since that incident happened. It's almost 5 years now.
Yeah.
And now they're getting married.
Wait. Wait, what do you mean?
Yeah, they're getting married. And I'm happy for them, to be honest, because, you know, at least I know my slicing didn't go to waste.
Yeah.
Like
that's your consolation prize.
Yeah, that's my consolation prize. At least the good thing, she's happy.
Yeah.
You know, they're getting married.
Yeah.
I wish them all the best, you know. And that was, I think that was one of the most, like, because when I found out they were getting married, it's the sister who told me.
Yeah.
The sister to my ex.
Yeah.
And the way she told me, it was like she wasn't really expecting it.
Yeah.
I mean, she thought I'd known, I was told about it, but I wasn't. So I wasn't shocked, you know. And also at the time, like, I was dating someone, and you know, I was in a happy place. I was happy with her. I didn't really that didn't really matter to me or anything.
Yeah.
But other than just forgiving him, I had to forgive myself also. Like, I had to forgive myself for, because like I told you, like in the last episode, yeah, I know, like it hurt and everything to like lose her and everything, but I also know the part that I played.
Yeah.
I know I wasn't like the best boyfriend, and you know, I kept on trying to use that whole thing as an excuse. I sliced, or she did me dirty. But at the end of the day, like, I also kind of fucked up, you know.
Yeah.
And I needed to forgive myself for doing that, and also I needed them to forgive me for what I did.
Yeah.
So there was like a lot of like unanswered questions that were answered, but also at the same time, like, you know, it's crazy, you know. I mean, now like most of my friends are getting married.
Yeah.
I'm still here, you know,
Chilling.
But I'm actually working on a few things, you know, my partner.
Yeah.
Trying to solve some issues, but it's a journey, man. Like, no rush, you know. You can take whatever time you need. I've been given a deadline, apparently. I've been given 2 more years.
Or by folks. Huh?
By my folks, by everyone, bro. Apparently it's time, you know.
But
So,
yeah.
I don't know how that's gonna go, but anyways.
To take you away from that, bro, I think, like, honestly, I think you have to run your own race.
Trust.
Yeah?
It's your own journey, man.
It's your own journey, because, like, even me these days, I see everyone is just
Yo,
there out there getting
fam.
married.
I'm just getting wedding invites after invite after invite. I'm just like, what? See what we do just the other day at Milan, bro.
What's happening?
What's happening, you know?
But you know, the craziest thing is, like, I know, like, a lot of people have seen this. Like, this small, like, my friend, she's called Nadia. I go to her house a lot, and like, I play with like her small sister, like with paint, or we'd play Scrabble or what. Like, that's how I usually spend my like Saturdays. Like, it's so wholesome to spend it with family and people who care about you. And she's like, you're not tired of spending time with us. You don't have a girlfriend or something. And I'm like, wow, like, how rude are you? And she's like, I don't know, I think she's 10 or she's turning 10. She's in like year 6, year 5.
She's already asking about
Bro, she's already hot. The other day we went for the graduation in her sister's graduation in Brookhouse.
Oh, yeah, I saw on your
and then now we had dinner afterwards.
How was that though?
It was actually really nice actually. And she was like, Tupac, so you're single for life. I think you'll die single. You're the most. And I'm like, damn, that hurts, because at that time, you don't know, you're fighting some loneliness shit. You're seeing everyone's getting married. You're seeing everyone's booed up and everything. Yeah, but
trust. I won't lie to you. Like even this last relationship that I was in, and how it now, like I said, we're working on things now. It was like very unexpected.
Yeah.
At the time, I was literally just working on myself. I was trying to, be a better person, do things that I like, do things that I never could do when I was in a relationship. And I ended up, meeting this person, falling in love, and like everything was beautiful. Then obviously things took a little turn towards the end, like everything does. Because literally one thing that I've learned over the past relationship that I've been in, is that the first year is always the easiest. When it comes to the second year, that's when everything just starts going to shit.
Yeah.
Because you start getting comfortable.
Yes.
You start zoeing the person. You don't really, you feel like, oh, I've been through this, there's nothing that we can't get over. But bro, there's more and more challenges that keep coming. And which is one thing that's so scary is the fact that like they say time is running out.
Yeah.
So you start getting all these pressures from everyone. But at the end of the day, like you said, the journey is yours.
It's true.
And if someone can learn to respect that and accept it, bro, that's when I feel like, when you're like yin yang.
Yeah.
When both of you are like yin yang together, you're understanding each other, you're understanding each other's insecurities, you're understanding how someone thinks. Like maybe you might be in 2 different positions in life. You just have to come to a common ground and agree. But all I can say is before you get to that common ground, like see how you're getting pressure from a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Bro, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like
at least my folks haven't reached there.
You can now imagine what your folks have.
Yeah. Listen,
they probably been telling if the 10-year-old goes to hear
my shosho tells me that though. Plus. My shosho in Kikuyu tells me, bado unakaa kwa nyumbani, haona bibi, haona mtoto. And like yo, shows just chill, bro.
Luckily, I don't get that pressure from my parents.
Yeah. My parents actually no pressure. My shows once in a while, bro.
None whatsoever. In fact, the other day, my mom was asking me if I've ever been with a Muzungu. I was like, what? Like, honey, what do you want? Do you want me to try all these flavors or what? What a random ass question.
Where is this coming from? Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I feel like they're thinking about it, but it's not necessarily something they're in a rush for.
Oh,
they still. I feel like thank God we have parents who like want us to take our own time, our own journeys, and finally get there. And I think about my mom had me when she was 27.
Yeah,
that's now my age.
Your age,
and I guess she got me at the right time. Then she had my sister. So she did her thing for her 20s, coming back she came from Nakuru, bro. Shags, did her thing, worked hard, finally got settled, then did it. And these days, everyone's journey is different. Like I have a friend of mine who has a child, got a beautiful baby girl the other day, and he is, 22, 23? 22 actually.
Bro, I even have I think it's even probably the same pastor.
Same pastor.
Yeah.
And when you think about it, I'm like, wow, just the other day, literally, we're on top of the tables of Mercury. Now you're here buying diapers.
Yeah.
Like, your journey, my journey, 2 different ones.
Different.
But at the same time, just have to take that road, bro, and be patient with it. Because, like I told you, this relationship that I was in, unexpected, but it turned out to be one of my best relationships ever. Like, it was a lot of growth. Like she helped me see a lot of things that I didn't see before. And sometimes you just need to be patient enough to finally get that person.
That's true. I think maybe one of the things I saw, or one of the things I keep on hearing is that the more you chase something, the more it evades you. But if you prepare yourself, or if you allow yourself to attract those opportunities, they're there in plenty.
Yeah.
You know, and someone always says maybe you don't have maybe the right person is not there. You get, so you'll go through all that turbulence until you finally meet the right person. So, but like, other than that, do you think that maybe if you were deliberate about your relationship, it would have been like much better, like the one that you're talking about? Like if you had said that on every third Saturday of the month we have to go for dinner, or on every 3 months we have to go on holiday, you know.
We definitely used to do that a lot. In fact, every Wednesday was date night. And it was pretty dope. We had like a structure. We used to have every weekend, like every 2-3 weekends, we go for a small road trip. Go to like Limuru, for example, like to Brown's Cheese. That was pretty dope. And also we started a business together. Started working together, which was also nice. So basically our lives were very, still are kind of like a lot of, involved with each other a lot.
Yes.
And I saw something on TikTok. You know, TikTok is the new Google these days. And it said
not ChatGPT.
ChatGPT is for writing things quickly. Like even a quick text. Wow.
Breakup text.
Breakup text. Even
everything.
ChatGPT, it's got it. But yeah, it said that, you know, sometimes in relationships, people get so comfortable that they spend almost every day with this person. They lose a part of themselves to this person. So this, not even the person, but the relationship. So you get so comfortable, you get so used to it, you get like, as in, your life is just this person and nothing else. Which is good and bad at the same time. Yeah. Because, God forbid, you break up with this person today. You've basically lost almost half of what you are. Yeah. Because you're just used to talking to this person, you're used to confiding in this person. Everything you do involves this person. So anything that you're putting your mind to, anything that you're working towards, or anything that you're thinking of, let's say something random happens to you during the day. Who's the first person you're going to call? True. That person. Now you've broken up. Something crazy has happened. You're like, oh my God, let me call. What? Blocked.
Send an email.
And you're like, damn, bro, I'm just chasing something that, you know. You start to ask yourself, am I chasing this person because I miss them and I want to be with them? Or are you chasing that part of yourself that you left with them? That you confide, that you was so comfortable with, that you opened with? Because, you know, we're humans, we're social people, we're social beings. We don't like being by ourselves. So when you find yourself confiding in someone, you know, comfortable with someone, you're literally giving them a part of you, which is scary, but at the same time, it's necessary, you know, because you can't keep everything bottled up. And like you said, when you're chasing something all the time, it starts to evade you. Yeah. Like I said, this relationship that I was in, I didn't necessarily chase it. It kind of found me. Yeah. It made it a lot more beautiful than other things that I've pursued in my life. That's true. Which is crazy at the same time, but also very interesting and fun, I can say. Something that you least expect yourself to find, like you least expect to find yourself in, is the one thing like that you find ends up being the best part. Like even when you go out, like those nights when you were told, bro, me, I'm not going out. Yeah. Then you end up in the club. Bro, fun as F, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's true. That's very true. Because you have a meeting the next morning. Fire. Fire. Yo, I have a meeting at 9. No worries. Me, I'm only here for 1 hour. Wallahi. Man, I'm telling you. Yeah. Bro, best night ever. Best. You even cancelled your meeting. You're still in a trap. You don't know where you are even. So in a random ass Airbnb, no idea. But yeah, it's the things that you least expect in life that always end up being the best. And honestly, if it's meant to be, it will find you. That's what I honestly do believe. Yeah, even me, I think I've become a strong believer of what's meant for you will always find a way to you. Yeah. So I've actually really removed myself from this thing for chasing things and letting things find me. Because also chasing, there's too much energy involved in chasing things. There's too much energy involved, you know.
And the other day I also even sat down with one of my uncles. I hadn't seen him in a minute, and he actually told me some very, very interesting things. He told me a lot of you guys think that everyone is your friend when they're really not your friend. They're just your acquaintance, because acquaintances are people that you share the same experiences with, are people that you're looking forward to doing the same things. Yeah. But a friend is someone you share the same values with. So Tupac, I want you to go and do this. Go and look at your values, yes? And then now look at your friends and see whether you share the same values with those kind of people. Then decide if those are your friends or your acquaintances. And I found that was actually, very, very, very powerful.
Very it's the same thing. I don't know. Like, remember last time when we were talking about, like I said, confiding in strangers. Most of these people that we hang out with, we try to chill with, we think are our friends, are not the people that you want to confide to.
Yeah. Because
you don't trust them. Exactly what your uncle is saying. These people are not your friends, they're your acquaintances.
Yeah. Experiences.
You share, you have maybe one common thing, which is maybe going out.
Yeah, you share common things, actually. That's what he said, not experience.
Or play football. Just a few common things that make you come together.
Yeah.
However, when it comes to now the serious things, you'd never feel comfortable with them because they've not, maybe they haven't, or maybe even you haven't given them a space where they can feel safe to do that. You know what I mean? And, I'm trying to think if I still do confide in strangers. I don't think I have in ages.
Amazing. But that shows you're getting better. So that's a great thing. Also
because I started therapy.
Yeah. How's that been?
It's been good. I just started the other day. It's been like I've done like three sessions. So
yeah.
And obviously, since it's in the beginning stages where you get to start knowing your therapy and your therapist and everything. But it's good to know that there's someone that I can talk to and there's someone that I can confide in. It was scary at first, but I'm excited for it. I'm gonna give it the time that it needs and and the attention also. But that whole thing about the acquaintances is something that I feel like a lot of people in Nairobi actually go through.
Yeah,
a lot of people here, like you go out or you go to somewhere and you're always saying hi. You spend almost 20 minutes saying hi to people that you don't even know their last names. Some people, even sometimes when I go out, I just have a script. It's like, Summer man, how's things? You've been okay? Yeah. yeah. How's Gobo? Sawa. You don't even know what the person does.
Yeah, true.
No idea.
You don't know how even, bro, there's so many, and I'm sorry to say this, and it's not by, on purpose, but there's so many people that don't know their names. I call them bro.
There are also many people
who don't know my name, yeah. And I don't take it to heart,
I know it. I'm just like, it's the same.
It's life.
At least you're courteous enough to say hello.
Hello, yeah.
And I appreciate that. But, now it's this, there's a time, we were out and then, I met this person and I kept on saying hi to them, but I never knew who they were. So now, she's like, yo, take my number, let's hang out. I'm like, no problem. She's like, and then I thought, she's like, I think I gave you my number. I'm like, are you sure? Then now iPhone does this thing when you write the number,
it pops up.
It pops up the name. So she writes her number, and then it shows Big Batty Ting Milan.
Oh my God,
bro! The embarrassment. They're just like, what the hell? No, you can't even save my phone number. Like, how can you save me like this?
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, I'm so sorry. It's maybe like in passing, maybe I forgot. And when I was leaving, I was just like, quick remembrance.
Yeah.
But this time I'll save it properly. Don't worry.
Yeah.
And it was just so embarrassing,
Yeah.
So it's like, that was a really shit moment. I was like, but it happens.
If she's watching this, we apologize.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
At least I know your name. I can't say it, but anyway. Yeah, so it's like that, and we get these acquaintances, these people that we feel like are friends. But you also need to remember not everyone has their best interest at heart.
That's true.
And you gotta be careful. And, that whole confiding in strangers, it might seem like it helped at the moment, at the time.
Yeah.
Because there was nobody I had to talk to. There's no therapy I was going for.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I feel like people should be careful with what they put out there.
Yeah.
Because, evil eye is a real thing. Unfortunately, there are people who don't want to see you flourish. So protect yourself and protect everything else about you. So that just don't get hurt, man. That's all I can say. It's hard to get out of that hole. I've been there. Where at moment I felt like everyone is against me.
Yeah.
You go somewhere and you feel like, oh, these people are talking about me. You get paranoid. And it's not a good place to be. Trust me. Yeah. It sucks. It really does suck.
You said that you kept on going back. Yeah. And you did literally. So
kept on going back. Yeah, I did.
Yes.
Oh, I will talk about the...
Yes. So...
Yes. I did. And
eventually... why do you think? Because, again, there's also someone out there that's listening to this podcast that's saying, no, Tupac, I don't care. She's done me dirty. But Tupac, she's the love of my life. I love her. I'll die for her. I'll marry her, Tupac. I don't give a shit about what you're saying. Screw you and your podcast. There's someone out there that's probably saying that.
Yeah, there's someone who's definitely...
and also, I've gone back. I've gone back.
I've literally gone back.
I've gone back to someone who has hurt me, and I think the relationship got way worse and got way toxic, and I probably leaving was the hardest decision I had to make, but it was necessary. So why do you think you went back?
Okay, so basically one thing that I think I've done in my life is I've found myself bouncing back to relationships a lot.
Yeah, bro, don't cap also me.
Yeah, and it's like I said earlier, it's because you've given this person a part of yourself that you're just not ready to
let go,
deal with that. It's gone. Like, for you to grow, for you to change, you have to be uncomfortable, and that uncomfortable feeling that you're being put in when you've left that relationship is something that you have to deal with. I've seen so many TikToks saying things like, "Oh, going back to relationships." There's one thing I saw. It said, if you find yourself going back to that relationship, that means she's your soulmate. And then someone said, bullshit.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm like 50-50 about that topic, because there's relationships that I have gone back. In fact, I have gone back into a relationship. And it's like, it's scary, but certain boundaries have to be set. Like I said, like the journaling and everything. The fact that I've written down everything that I felt uncomfortable with in my relationship with, I've brought it up, I've presented it forward, I've shown my case, I've said, okay, now I want you to do the same thing about me. What are your pros and cons about a relationship?
Wow, that's powerful.
Write them down. If you start seeing the cons are starting to overtake, then maybe it's something that you have to deal with. You have to deal with that uncomfortable feeling, and you have to come to accept that that person, that part of me that had left with her is also going with her. And it's going to be uncomfortable. Like I said, you go through things where, you've seen something that has happened. That whole moment when you have a babe and it's like, you're talking to her during the day, like let's say Abu Dhabi has scratched your whip, you want to vent, or something great has happened, or like something,
Yeah.
Sorry, excuse me. And that whole thing of being lonely and having no one to speak to is the scariest thing ever. But it's something that you just have to deal with.
That's crazy that you said that.
Now the fact is, with saying that is the reason as to why many people, I feel like, go back. They go back because it's easier to fix things rather than to actually deal with things. You know what I mean? It's easier to have that conversation of like, oh yes, I did this, I did that, with someone else rather than with yourself. Like, you have to sit down yourself and like this, even have a podcast with yourself. Ask yourself questions like, okay, so why is it that you feel like you need to go back?
Go back.
What is it that you feel like you're missing? What happened for you to leave her in the first place? Or what happened for her to leave you in the first place? If it's something silly, if it's something that you feel like you can work over, like if let's say I didn't cheat on you, or if let's say we got into an argument and got really heated, and we left each other because of that, because of the heat in the moment, you're fighting, I'm fighting, but it's something that can be resolved, I would definitely say go back. However, if it's something that you feel like you cannot get over, if it's something that you feel like is going to eat you, it's always going to be at the back of your head, trust me, that is just a recipe for disaster. Because it will take one spark, one little conversation everything will be puka.
Yeah.
All of it will start flowing like a flipping waterfall, bro. Pouring down on you. And you can't escape that feeling.
I like what you say, the thing for it's important to have a conversation with yourself.
Yes.
And even Shaq the youngin who came here a few episodes
yeah,
ago.
2 episodes ago.
Yeah, 2 episodes ago. He kept on saying it's important to have a conversation with yourself. And it's crazy that he's also been in our same boat, you know. I think many of us in Nairobi. Nairobi, yeah. I think he's also, he was also in the same boat, yeah.
It's tough out here, bro.
You know.
Nairobi is a different city, I won't lie to you. I have so many friends who come from everywhere. And they just tell me, like, you guys in Nairobi, but what's happening here? Like, uyo, na uyo, alafu uyo, na uyo. And then they all meet, like, at once, and then it's like, it's like, hey, it's quite crazy to think about it.
It is a KFC bucket.
Trust.
Yeah.
That's family bucket with coleslaw. Trust, my guy. It's tough, man. But anyways, you just have to get, like I said, have a conversation with yourself. If it's something that you feel like you can forgive, if it's something that you don't feel like was it will be such a burden, then definitely
you can go back.
Me, one thing I have learned is if someone's not ready to deal with my insecurities, because I have, many people see me and they don't understand, but I'm a very shy guy.
Wow.
Like, generally, I'm very, if I come into a room and I don't know people, I will barely speak.
Yeah.
But when I get comfortable, then I can start saying, hi.
Yeah.
Throw a few jokes. But now, the problem is, it comes off dickheadish.
Yeah.
So many people see me and they're like, that guy is such an asshole. And you can't even say it to us. I want to, but I can't.
You can't.
I'm really shy. It's not like I'm trying to be an asshole, but it's just, if someone can help me deal with that, like with my insecurities, and like make me realize that, I don't necessarily have to have these insecurities and you're in a safe space.
Yeah.
Then I'm okay with that. That's now the part of me that I had lost in the relationship. She had made me feel secure. She made me feel comfortable with myself. And then when we broke up, that part left.
Yeah.
So then I find myself now going clubbing.
Or looking for that security.
Talking to women, vibing babes, trying to macho myself up. But bro, it didn't really help at all. It just made me feel less kidogo.
But I like what you said about loneliness. And I think I was listening to a podcast the other day and the guy came and said, men are truly lonely.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, natural beings.
Men are truly lonely. Like, he was like, and he said this, he said, as a girl, you probably have 10 guys who want to date you, another 10 guys who are willing to just give you 100K for a date, another 50 guys who want to smash you. Yeah? But for some guys, when they get out of a relationship, he has no one. Yeah? And that's why you probably see a lot of guys run back to their exes.
Yeah. You never see a shorty running back to the ex because she has options for days.
Yeah.
Like, she just needs to post one story. One. Boom. Love, heart, eyes. When are we meeting? How's you been? All of the eggs flat like this. But a nigga will post a story. Aye, bro, what are you doing? What are you saying? Kwani is out?
Is out?
You know what I mean?
Chapa shots of tequila.
Shots of tequila, bro. What a pussy.
Yeah.
And it's even that time when I was going through that whole thing, I couldn't even trust my own friends.
Yeah.
Because I was like, for sure, these niggas are howling at my babe now. Your mind, okay, I'm an overthinker. So
bro,
my mind goes crazy. Like, it can create scenarios that even don't exist. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
As much as men are lonely people or lonely beings, it's because we find ourselves in positions where you feel like, I feel like you start to feel a bit threatened. And this whole thing about confiding in other men and friends is something that I feel like needs to happen a lot more, because mental awareness is something that we keep pushing to the side as men.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily feel like we can talk to other men or feel like we can confide with other men and tell them our problems and not feel less manly. Which I truly believe, if someone came to me and was like, yo, I need to talk to you about this, I'd respect you a lot more if you just decided to tell me, yeah, I'm easy. You know what I mean? Because you're doing something uncomfortable. You're really worrying about yourself. You're caring about yourself to the extent where you're coming to me as a man, telling me, yo, I need some advice. And I would respect that. And I also, I mean, I don't do that all the time.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to.
True.
I'm trying to be able to be open, to be free, you know. Like if I'm going through something, I shouldn't hide it.
Yeah.
You know, I have friends. I have you. I have so many friends, you know, that I feel, okay, I won't say I have that many friends. Because there's a difference between having many people that you know and many people that you can actually talk to.
Yeah.
The difference between the acquaintance and
Friends, yeah.
And I don't think none of us have friends. You know, our squad, the way we are, we're quite close. And nobody ever really judges the other person.
Yeah.
In case of anything, you know? And we all have this space and opportunities to be open with each other, which I feel like which would eliminate that loneliness that men feel. Because, you know, if I came up to you and I was going through something, of course you'd take me up with open arms. And it's the same
100%, yeah.
But we need to get over that whole fear of feeling like we can't talk to each other, we can't come and, you know, shed a tear. And just to be open, you know. And I feel like when we have that space and that mental, like, that thought of knowing that my friend is there for me, we'll be able to get over these things so much better than you think.
But do you think it's because as men, how we've naturally been raised, we're in general competition
100%.
with each other?
Yes. So you don't want to look weaker.
You don't want to look, yeah. So, and that's why for men, it's, and I think that's what also contributing to our high suicide rates as men is because our insecurities have played, because we're constant in competition with other people instead of being in competition with ourselves. Yeah. Because
100%.
even for me, like, every time that I've had maybe a bad breakup of everything, the one thing that has constantly played in my head is my insecurities. Yeah. And so instead of being better than the Tupac I was yesterday, I work on being better than the next guy. Which is definitely a battle you can never win.
I told you. Remember, even last time it was the thing. Because to be honest, bro, there'll always be someone who's richer than you. There'll always be someone who has a better car than you. There'll always be someone who has something, has to have something. But there's no one who will ever be you.
Yeah.
No one will ever be Tupac, and no one will ever be Noah.
That's true.
And the way Noah makes other people feel is not the same way anyone else will make them feel. So you have to take pride in that, to know that, yes, someone might have a better car than you, someone might have this, but no one will ever be you.
Yeah.
The vibes and the energy that you bring as a person is only you. You're one of one.
Yeah.
Right? And once you accept that, you accept your insecurities, you work on them, they'll never end. You just have to come to accept them and work on them. Is when I feel like you truly get that wholesome feeling, you know? Just feeling like I'm okay with myself.
I'm good with me.
I'm good with me. Just realizing. But you know, obviously, the world that we live in, you come in with a Benz, another person comes in a G-Wagon. You know, it's tough.
It's tough.
It's tough. We live in a tough society, and that's why you're saying we're always in competition with ourselves, because we believe that we always have to be better than the next man.
Yeah.
And to be honest, just have to be a better you. Not a better than the next man, just better you.
But I think that's just something school and society has taught us.
Yes.
That's why there's only one president and you have to compete for it. 100 guys.
Yeah.
That's why there's...
Shout out my guy, Ruto.
Yeah. That's why there's other guys, you know, in every position.
Yeah.
There's that constant fight for it. But like you said, since the last time we talked, what has probably been the greatest lesson you learned about yourself? I think that's something I'd be curious to learn about.
The greatest lesson I've learned about myself is that I can achieve anything that I put my mind to.
Yeah.
And I have come to, I've over the past 2 years, a lot has changed. You know, I'm finding myself more comfortable with the person that I am. I'm finding myself a lot more free, and I'm a lot more open to learning new things, to starting new things, and to also grow. You know, it's been a tough 2 years, but you know, we're here standing still. We've had a few ups, a few downs, you know, very crazy downs, but you know, we're here, we've made it. We're happy, we're smiling, you know, and we're still working on ourselves. The journey is not yet over, and the battle is not yet over, because by the time people start to realize or start getting comfortable themselves in their 50s, 60s, 40s.
Yeah.
And I've come to learn and accept my journey, that it's gonna take time.
Yeah.
And I'll get there eventually, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just happy to be here, to be honest, and to feel like, you know, things have worked out for me in good ways.
Mm-hmm.
I've been able to get over those things that I was fighting, and it's been hard. It's not been easy.
Yeah.
And I've been able to accomplish small goals. You know, like example, like starting therapy is a huge one for me.
Mm-hmm.
I've been talking about it for long.
Congrats.
Thanks so much. I have some sort of consistency in my life, you know, now with sports, ball, you know, gym, just small things, man. Small things that make you feel good, you know. And I'm just glad, you know, I thank God. And my relationship with God has become a lot more stronger. Yeah. Which is also amazing. And I'm just thankful, bro. You know, my mom's also moved in and out. She's not here much. And my relationship with her has grown a lot more. Like, just things are working towards where I want them to go. They're not necessarily there yet, but I appreciate them for what they are.
Yeah. And also, since the last time we talked, I just wanted to know, what has probably been your biggest lesson around happiness?
Good question.
Yeah.
I would say my biggest... When I think about the moments I've been the happiest, is when I've achieved, like I told you, there's small goals we have. Yeah. That get to the bigger ones. So my happiest moments have been when I have achieved certain goals constantly, which have led to a bigger goal that's been achieved. Yeah. So, and these are things that I self-challenge myself. Not challenges anyone has set for me, but certain challenges that I've set for myself, and finding myself accomplishing them and achieving them has been one of the happiest things that I've been through. So one thing that I've learned about the happiness is it's self-achieving. You don't need anyone to make you happy. You don't need to get a pat on the back from your dad or something to feel happy. You achieving that goal that you had set for yourself will earn you that pat on the back. Yeah. But that pat on the back is not the thing that should make you happy. It's the feeling that you have that you have done this. And even when I thought I couldn't, I still managed to do it. Yes. Is what will give you the happiness that you want. From that, from the last time we spoke, that's definitely one thing that I've learned. A lot of self-fulfillment. Yeah. Have you also realized that happiness is not something that you'd be every day? No. You can't be happy every day. Yeah. Unless you're on drugs. That's crazy. I don't know anyone who can tell me they're happy every day. There's no way. No, you're just there, content maybe. No. Yeah. I mean, if you are happy every day, I think you'd get tired of it, to be honest. Like you would not, it would be overwhelming, to be honest. Every day I just, yeah. It shouldn't be okay. Because there's downtimes you definitely will have. Because things are not easy. Like even achieving those goals that I'm telling you, it's hard. Like doing them, going through that hardship to the happiness is what makes the happiness even better. True. But if I'm happy doing my challenges, what's the point? True. You know what I mean? The hardships is what you deserve, and the hardships is what is what I feel like builds up to the happiness. So I don't think you can be happy every single day. Or not necessarily every single day, but every single moment. Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah. And then now at least to try and wrap things up, how's your relationship with your father, and how do you think it's shaped the person you are today? Interesting question. In the beginning, me and my father didn't have like the best relationship. You know, we weren't that close because he was also a busy man. I was in boarding school, so we didn't have much time to, let's say, interact. Yeah. Or have those fatherly son moments. Yes. But you know, of late now he's retired. He's around more often. But now I'm on my grind, so we don't really hang out that much. But over the years, me and my father have always had this like work type of relationship where it's not necessarily where we talk about the things that are going through or what's going on with my life, but it's like work-wise. So like, what are you doing? Have you done this? Have you done that? And now, you know, first of all, my dad is quite old. He's now 74. Wow. Yeah, and he's still a man with so much energy. who has accomplished so much. Because the other day I was writing for him, I was helping him do his CV, and I was seeing all the things he's done, and I'm like, what? This guy, bro.
Yeah.
How have you done all these things that I've never known? Like, 23, you're the chairman of Nzoia Sugar. I'm like, what the hell? Like, that's crazy,
Yeah.
And it made me realize, like, there's a lot this guy can teach me.
Yeah.
If I just, because also another thing that I learned is when I started realizing me and him are not close, I start pulling myself away from him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I start saying, okay, I don't really hang out with him. I don't look for him because I'm just like, it's a working relationship. But I've started trying, and I've realized that he also is trying. Like, he doesn't know how to do it because, my dad didn't have a dad.
Yeah.
His dad died when he was really young. So it's also new for him. And I also have to take him slowly. So I have to make myself uncomfortable. Like, to make this, if I really want this relationship to work,
That's true.
I have to do something uncomfortable. And that is sitting down with him at dinner, talking to him, calling him, asking him for my advice, and just trying. Because the only thing you can do now is try.
Yeah.
And, knowing that I didn't have a great relationship with this guy, and now that, time is running out, and now we're here, I have to try. And it's kind of making me, it's like one of those goals that I had set for myself.
Sure.
And it's putting me in a much better place knowing that I can now talk to him a little bit. Before when we're on the phone, 2 minutes. Max.
Yeah.
Have you done this? Have you sent? Okay.
Okay.
Now it's like, hi, how are you? What are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm going to the gym. Okay, how's the gym? Good. Nice. And fun enough, that makes me super happy, bro.
For sure.
Satisfied. Like, to know that he's worried about, he's concerned about other things than just work-wise.
And it also kind of shows you the father that you could be.
Yeah.
I think even just for me, because I want to give this to advice to fathers out there and I'm really passionate about men and mental health. I think it's important for a child, especially a man, to have like a father or father figure in his life.
Yes, I agree.
And even for me, when I started my relationship with my father, it used to be a really hate relationship because my dad used to be too strict. Yo, don't do this shit, don't do this, don't do this. He comes to parent-teacher consultation. Tupac, why do you have a B? He wants to beat me in front of people. I'm like, yo, who the hell is this guy, bro? Like, yo, I'm like,
start to hate him.
Yo, bro. I think at a point I did like my pops, bro. 100%. But bro, I think like right now, I think like my dad and I, we've become like really best friends.
This is good, bro.
Yeah, like and I feel like because of that relationship I've had with him, I don't feel lonely about not having a girlfriend because like I have him. Because me and my dad have breakfast like 4 or 5 days.
What? That's amazing.
Yeah. And we crack jokes, and my dad sometimes will come walk with me on the golf course, like not play, just walk. And just talk to me, and just stories. That's and tell me, hey, Baba, I think now you're a bit too old to live in my house, but I'm not chasing you. I'm a few pointers. Even the other day he told me, Tupac, I'm not seeing you with a girl in a while. Connie, you joined that rainbow crew. And I'm like, chill, dad. You're coming at me too much,
It's coming. He's there, bro.
But like, I've seen like, how it shaped it. And I can also see it with my brothers. Yeah. So, and I'm glad that you're trying,
I figured that I have to go out of my comfort
of your way.
I really want to make this work.
Yeah.
And also, like I said, there's a lot that I can learn from him, and
that's true.
You're also learning a lot from your dad.
From
sure.
There's actually a lot, and you also, I'm sure, like also with chilling with him, you've seen a bit of similarities.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
Especially as you're the firstborn.
With my mom, yes.
Okay.
My others, I'm like the 6th. Yeah. But other than that, it's tough, but. Because my dad is a really tough guy to penetrate.
Yeah.
So, but I'm up for the challenge.
Yeah, it's a good challenge, and there's a lot to learn in it.
Yes.
It's those worthwhile challenges. Yeah. Anyways, as we come to the end of this podcast, if there was one key message or one takeaway or one thing that you'd want it to stick in the guests, the audience's minds, what do you think it would be? Or first of all, even before that, do you have something that you'd like to share Is there something that maybe I missed out?
Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, I want you from the last conversation we had. The same question you asked me about happiness.
Yeah.
What's your take on it?
One thing I've learned about happiness is, again, it's not something you'll feel every day.
Yeah.
And I actually listened to a podcast the other day on happiness, and I was like, this guy's amazing. He said happiness is like the sun, yes? But if you look at it straight, it'll hurt your eyes. But if you look at it through a prism, it'll divide it into all these beautiful colors. Yes, wow. And all those beautiful colors are different pillars. Yes, there's the pillar of spirituality, there's the pillar of financial well-being, there's the pillar of health. There's all like he mentioned about 5 or 6 pillars, and I realized that if you're focusing on all those pillars, then there's no way that you lack happiness. Yes. But you see, the thing is, and I feel like why a lot of our generation is a bit depressed, is because we've given away spirituality. Yeah. None of us, like not none of us, but very few of us these days still go to church, still pray, still what? Yes. Yeah. We've given away maybe even physically, when people are not doing sports. Yeah. You know. So you're giving, you're trying to build a building, but it has no stable base. Yeah. And that's what I got from it. And that's what I've been trying to see. How can I build in those different pillars? Because if I build in those different pillars, then there's no way that I can really get into a very dark moment, you know, because at the end of the day, even though one doesn't work, there's the 4 other pillars. Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. That whole thing of the suns, looking at the sun, that is wow.
No, it was crazy. I'll actually look for the podcast and I'll see if I can share it with the people.
That's a great way to look at things.
It was actually interesting. I think I sent it to everyone in my family after I listened to it. And I'm like, go and listen from this minute. Yeah. You guys were saying, this, go and listen. Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting. Sorry, back to what you were saying.
Yeah, so, your takeaway.
My take on this. One thing I can say is, like I said earlier, when you do things that make you uncomfortable. Yeah. And just try and gain those small wins, the little things in life. You know, many people take them for granted, but they matter so much. Yeah. And the more you build on the more you have the more small wins you have, the better it is for you, because the small achievements now end up like preparing you to now tackle those big ass goals that you have set for yourself, because it builds up morale, it builds up confidence. You now start to feel like, you know, there's nothing that you can't take on. Yeah. You know? So all I can say is, like, allow yourself, anyone who's going through something, like, take the time to understand what it is that you're going through. Drink camel tea, go for walks. If you have a dog, take it out for a walk, you know. Confide in your family, even if you might not be as close. Or if that's too much, just take time to write down the things that you're feeling, understand what it is that you're going through. And I promise you will definitely get out of that hole, because if I was able to, and I was in a terrible state, and I managed to be here, I'm back in the podcast, so happy to be back. And everything I can say, I'm not like at 100%, but all I can say is it takes time. Trust in God, pray, and also believe in yourself, because there's a lot more to you that you haven't necessarily figured out yet. Like, you know, in like games, for all these gamers, you know, when you're going through the game, you start to unlock new features of yourself. Yeah. New moves, new what. That's exactly how life is. As you're going through the journeys, you start to unlock and figure out new things about yourself. So just be patient with it. Allow yourself to heal. Allow yourself to process everything that's happening, and everything will just will work out the way it's meant to work out. And everything will be fine, because God has a plan for you, and He has a plan for all of us.
Yep. Noah, thank you so much for coming to grace this podcast once again.
Thank you so much.
For sure, we will definitely have you again on the Just to Kick It Is a Blessing podcast. And for those of you listening from home, Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Just to Kick It is a Blessing podcast. Remember that no matter what you're going through, no matter where you are, the fact that you're alive, that you're watching this, Just to Kick It is a blessing. Thank you and see you next week.